What's up, boys and girls? Today I'm going to continue on with some of my favorite exercises. I'm almost done. I've showed you 10 so far. Today I'm going to show you 11 and 12, and I got one more video after this. So today I'm going to show you a version of what they call the Turkish get-up. I do it a little differently. I'm going to show you a few different things that I do to it. That's going to be exercise number 11. Number 12 is going to be complementary to that. It's going to be what I call a lawnmower row, and I'm going to show you a couple of variations on that. So this first exercise number 11, is called the Turkish get-up. It's believed to be from Turkey. It's believed to be maybe 300 years old. It's got a few moving parts. I'm not going to go into detail today, but I want to show you what it looks like. I'm going to use a barbell, for example. So I'm going to start on the ground, pick the weight up here safely, and I'm going to do step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, step number 6, and then I would go all the way back down safely. You can also do this exercise in reverse, where you start at the top and then go down. So when I do that exercise, I count 6 different parts. You can break that up into any 6 different parts, work on each one of them, put them all together. I prefer to do a version where I break it apart. My favorite version of this exercise is actually where I add a floor press and I only do the very first part. You could use a kettlebell in one hand, you could use a dumbbell in one hand, you could use a barbell, you could use a sandbag, you could use a little person. Today I'm going to show you with a dumbbell. So my favorite version is where I bring the weight safely in the air. I'm going to pull it into the ground. So my elbow and my shoulder are both pulling into the ground. I press up, and then I come up there, which is like a glorified sit-up. And I repeat that. Pull it into the ground, push it back up, and then come up there, and I repeat on both sides. Another variation that I do quite often is I'll use a kettlebell, and I may do it overhead. It's called a snatch, and then I may walk around a little bit. When I come back to the spot that I started, I'll go all the way down and then come all the way back up. It's a great variation. Third variation that I really like a lot, I call the power position. I'm going to start off just like I did before. I pull it into the ground, I press up. I come up to the first step, come up to the second step, and then come up to the third step, which I call the power position, or the third power. And I love it. I utilize that a lot with clients. So as you can see, overall, it's a great exercise. There's lots of different ways to do it. Those are just a few of my variations that I like. I used to go pretty heavy with this exercise. Now I try to stay right in the middle. It seems to be a little safer because you gotta keep in mind that you are having a weight over your head. When you're coming down with it especially, you gotta be careful that it doesn't smash you in the head or the teeth or the eyes or something like that. So if you watched the last 2 videos that I did, you probably recognize that that's a unilateral exercise. I'm using one arm. And actually, if you do the full thing, you're using kind of all one side of the body. Even though you're using your full body, you're using primarily one arrangement on each side. So it's a unilateral exercise because the weight is primarily pressing. When I'm laying on the ground and I'm pressing that weight up, it's a unilateral horizontal press. So keep that in mind because this next exercise is going to be the exact opposite. And that leads us to exercise number 12. So if you've been watching my videos so far, a lot of exercises push and pull. We need to work both sides of the body, upper body, lower body. We're working it all. It's all really, really important. So this exercise complements the Turkish get-up a lot. We need to do what I'm going to refer to as a lawnmower row, this first variation, but it's also a unilateral upper body horizontal row. So we were horizontal pushing, pressing before, now we're horizontally pulling. So we're going this way, horizontal to the body. So my favorite variation is to take a dumbbell and to get in this stance. I'm split stance like this, my back foot's back there, nice good stretch in the legs. I'm going to lean on that front leg. I'm going to take this, I'm going to squeeze my butt here, and I'm going to row up elbow high, and I'm pulling. Slow, really good form, and if you do one side, you do the other. It's a great variation. Occasionally, I do a second variation. It's a little harder variation, but I will plank here, and I'll do the same row here. If I'm using a dumbbell that's really big and it hits the ground too early, I may put my hand on a cinder block or a bench or something like that to get me off the ground, but I call that a plank row. If you do one side, you gotta do the other. So there you go, exercise number 11, exercise number 12, great exercises. Both of these, even though they're unilateral, which means you're using one arm or one leg or one side of the body, they are full body exercises. Pretty much everything that I have showed you All 12 exercises so far are full body exercises. In my opinion, you should only do full body exercises unless you are a bodybuilder or you have a specific injury. Other than that, everybody should be doing full body, total body exercises and total body workouts, in my humble opinion. I have one more exercise. I'll see you next time.